My name's Anneliese, and I'm the counselor here at New Journey Family Services. For my sheet, it says your name is Nikki. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's what you want to go by?
Yes, please.
Okay. To go over a little of what we do here is we help families with trauma or hard situations by connecting them with a core spiritual group, or specifically putting God in the middle of their situation. We work with divorce, to abuse, to just spiritually not being there.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping that through these meetings we can help you work through your situation. Before we get started, I just want to go over some confidentiality. Everything that is said in this meeting will not be taken with outside this meeting.
Okay.
Also, if there is harm to you or your someone else, then I will have to report that.
Okay.
That's the limit of confidentiality. Also, some limits is child abuse, substance abuse, inadequate care, and things like that. So I do have a sheet for you to look over and sign. And once you read over, if you could just put your initials and your signature right there, and then also date it right there. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you have any questions so far?
I don't think so.
Okay. So just to go over the intake form a little bit, you're currently married to Derek Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
age 32,
Yes.
and you're currently going through a separation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you together have a 6-year-old girl named Kaylin and a 4-year-old boy named Cord.
Yes.
Okay. So just to go over some expectations I have with you, it's very important to show up at the meetings on time and to always show up for your session. Also, it's very important that you are interactive and you feel open to be able to communicate with me and know that you're not being judged and we're here to help you. With saying that, I'm opening up to see what expectations you have out of this session or just for me in general.
I'm just really having a hard time dealing with the whole divorce thing. My kids aren't taking it very well, and I just kind of want to talk about through my situation and figure out how I can help my kids through this situation too.
I'm very sorry that you have to go through this. I know it's really hard on you and specifically your children to have to go through a divorce. So I'm here to help you. So just to get started, could you just tell me a little about the divorce, or maybe why he said he was leaving, or anything along those lines, just about the whole situation?
Okay. Well, my husband and I met in high school, and we've been married for 8 years, and we have 2 kids, 4 and 6. The first 2 years of our marriage were really good. We didn't have kids. We were able to go and do everything together. And after we had kids, I've got kind of stuck in the mommy role. And so I was almost like a full-time mom. My job is, I'm a hairstylist, and so I only work 3 days a week. The rest of the time is pretty much devoted to my kids. Mm-hmm. And so just throughout that 6 years, my husband, I guess, feeling like he needed to have like the supporting role, he picked up extra shifts at work, and so he was always working, and so my role was the mom, the caretaker. And I guess just throughout both of those things, then we kind of lost communication, and I just feel like, I don't know, he just felt like I wasn't giving him enough attention and that I cared more about the kids than him. And so he was very unhappy and decided to leave.
So you feel like since he and you were very distant from each other, that it really put a strain on the relationship because there wasn't that communication, or really that relationship between you is more separated by work and then the kids.
Right. I think his expectations of our marriage now would be the same as before. when we were able to go and do things and spend time together. And now when we have kids, we're just not able to do it.
Mm. So, you never had any thoughts of, since you said that since you have kids that you weren't able to spend time together, did you all ever think about or try maybe getting babysitters and setting aside time maybe for you all to go out and spend time together, or was it just never a thought?
I mean, it was a thought, and we tried that, a few times, but once it got to that point and we just were like, okay, we have to set some time apart, it was like that communication was already lost, and so it was almost awkward. And so I just felt like it just wasn't worth it.
Mm. And so in this situation, I know that you have 2 children,
Mm-hmm.
1 4, 1 6. How are they taking the divorce? Do they know much about it? Do they understand what's going on?
Well, Derek's been gone for about 6 months. He actually moved out, and they're asking a lot of questions, and my son was really, I mean, his dad is, the man, and he's just like the father figure, of course, but he's asking a lot of questions, and he's wondering if he did anything wrong, and that just breaks my heart, and I don't really know how to answer that question. I just, tell him, no, it doesn't have anything to do with him, this is an adult situation, and he's just asking to see his dad a lot more than what he did when we were married. And Kaylin hasn't really said a whole lot. I think she's really just too young to understand the whole situation, but she's definitely asking questions. But it just really, it hurts my heart, and I don't really know how to deal with it. I just really don't.
So you are really upset because it's really impacting not only you but your kids.
Yes.
And since you said that you are the main caretaker for your kids, this probably makes it a lot harder, since you're the one that's always with them and the one that's essentially taking care of them every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So have you talked to your husband about, does he want to be involved still with the kids?
He does. He wants to, we've talked about visitation, but we're really not at a point where we can just sit down and have a civil conversation, just because there's still all of that, hurt there between us. So we haven't gotten a chance to really sit down and talk about it. But I know he does want to be involved. He's a good dad. It's just, we just haven't got to work that out.
Okay. So I just wanted to do something with you. It's called an eco mat. Okay. And what we're going to do is find some positive relationships within your life. Because right now you're really in a hard spot with a divorce. Yes. I can see that from our discussion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your name right here in the middle.
Okay.
So you can see. And we're going to talk about some of the main people that make an impact in your life. So we're going to put your husband as one of the people.
Okay.
Then we'll put Kaylin. That's your oldest kid. Porter is your youngest. Are there other people that are really essential in your life right now?
Oh yeah, my mom, Betty.
Betty.
And my sister.
Sister's name?
April.
April.
And I also have a group at church, a women's ministry that I'm involved in. And I love all of those ladies, but since the divorce, I really haven't connected with them, just because I'm really honestly embarrassed just to go back, because divorce and that's just embarrassing for me. I'm one of those people that feel like I have to have it all together all the time, and so really just coming to terms with that and going back and just talking about that is not something I'm ready for yet. So, but they really are influential in my life. I love them, and I'm able to talk to them. I'm just not ready yet.
Okay. So we'll add them on there. Also after this, we can, since you're saying that you're having a hard time with church and stuff, we can do a spiritual genealogram. And this will help us connect you with spots that were really important to you before the divorce with your spiritual walk. So here we do have Derek, you're going through a divorce. So do you feel like that's a really rough patch right now? It's not very positive?
Definitely.
Okay.
Negative.
That dotted line right there means that's really patchy and you're not really sure about the relationship. And it affects, I'm sure, both of you all.
Definitely.
So then you have your kids. Do you feel like your kids are a very positive thing for you and their help what keeps you going?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. We'll put a strong bolded line, and this keeps you all connected. And so I'm sure it's a positive for them to have you there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your mom, are you really close with your mom?
Yes.
Okay, so you would say that's a positive relationship
Yes.
too. And is that both ways?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, what about your sister April?
Same. Yeah.
Same positive.
Really close family.
Okay. And the women's ministry, I know you did say you're ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of rocky right now, but you did say that they were a very positive thing in your life before the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do is we'll do dotted line, but we'll also do that because there is a connection connecting them, but it is still rocky.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, you have a lot of positive people in your life who are obviously making you very happy and helping, willing to help you in many ways, which is really good to have. A lot of people might not have as much relationships as you do. As you can see, the worst one right now is Derek, and that's something that we're going to be working with throughout this meeting. So you did mention that with church you're really distant from that because you feel ashamed of the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up exactly what we just did, but we're going to use it spiritually.
Okay.
So I'll put you right in the middle again. And then we'll put God, which you did mention, church, your women's ministry, okay. Is there anything else that you're involved in?
I do sing some at church, or I did before the divorce, but I'm just not really sure if that's something that I need to be doing right now because of this point in my life. So I did do that, and I love that whenever I did do that.
Okay. And is that all you were involved in at church?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right now, how's your relationship with God after the divorce?
I mean, I feel like that the Lord and I mean, we still have an open communication. I'm still praying. I'm still talking to God. I just have a lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
Yeah. Some of the questions might be like, why is this happening to me? I don't know. Like I said, I'm the type of person that feels like they have to have everything in order and in control all the time. And so, whenever something like this happens, I'm just like, I'm doing everything right. Why does this happen to me? You know? And so, I would probably say maybe a little rocky.
So
it's definitely a positive thing in my life. It's just...
So God's a positive thing in your life. So I can put the positive from God going into your life by using this arrow. But you still said it's a little rocky your way. So what I'll do is I won't put an arrow going to God.
Okay.
Because you don't feel like you're really connecting there. You have a lot of questions with God. But you did say that He's a positive influence.
Definitely.
Women's ministry, as you did say that they're a very positive influence. You did say you felt ashamed.
I know that they would just embrace me and go right back in, but I'm just, it's just very shameful. It's a shameful thing, especially in the church.
Yeah, I totally understand. So we'll put that as a positive going to you. Again, you said that's a little rocky because you're just ashamed, feel ashamed and scared to go back. So I will put the dotted line there too. And worship, you said you don't feel like that's a place you should be right now.
Right.
But when you were doing it, I would believe that it was a positive.
Oh, yes.
Yes, a positive for you. And you said you aren't doing it right now, so again, put the dotted line there.
Okay.
So as you can see, all these things were very positive in your life.
Mhm.